Hey, how you doing? It's Ricky from MMA Krav Maga. As usual, self-defense, avoidance and awareness techniques. Today's video is about quite a big thing that's going on at the minute, and there's a lot being done about it as well, but I'll let you watch it quickly. Most of you will have seen this at some point. Right, so someone in the middle of the pavement, paying no attention to anyone, blocking everyone, and boom, someone manages, and again, and just so you know, both of those were done at the same time. They start talking to each other now. So that's basically maybe £400 in less than a minute these guys have taken. So it's obvious, it's for them, it's worth doing. And it isn't a hard crime. They're on a motorbike, one guy's driving, the other one sees someone, spots them, leans over, grabs the phone. Avoidance and awareness, what can we do to stop that? We're all guilty of it. My mates say to me all the time, always on the phone, because I'm answering emails and I'm dealing with things. Being out on the street, you have to be a little bit sensible. Now, I always speak to you about 10 to 1. And basically what I'm trying to get over there is a lot of people are walking around at 1. I think I probably walk around about 5 to 6. I'm not in an adrenalised state, but I'm pretty aware all the time. I'm always looking around, I'm pretty aware of what's going on. I know where exits are, I'm watching people to see if I get a good vibe off them or whatever. Both of these people there, and they've probably done it every night. That guy looked like he was probably just come out of work on the stairs, maybe smoking a cigarette, holding his phone, and we all do that. And would you expect someone to come shooting by at 20 miles an hour on a motorbike and take your phone? No. So a little bit of that has got to go on. I see it all the time when I'm walking down the road now. People are not even aware that I'm walking at them because they're looking at their phone. So you've got to be a little bit careful when you're doing it and why you're doing it. So I make sure I get to a spot where I can do it comfortably, either in the car or out of the way, but not walking down the road. Now, the good thing about during the day and it's really busy, it's less likely to get taken, but then you can still walk into the road or bump into someone, something like that. So people are not always aware of what's going on. Now, the bigger thing with this is as well, again, I'm always trying to say to you, don't just see the terribleness and everything. Oh my God, this is so terrible. You know, back in the day, there's always been gangs and, you know, going back to, in our history, London, the Craze and whatever, there was always violence and bad things. There's always been robberies and there's always been that. Just crime changes. So at this moment in time, it's this. Now what's happened is they'll bring out a new police force and they'll spend money on cracking down on the moped crime, and sooner or later that will die a death, and then something else will come. So what shouldn't change is your adrenalised state. You're between 1 and 10. That's what you should got to be aware of. And I always say this because it's the easiest way of saying something. If you leave your front door open every day, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get robbed every day, but one day someone's going to spot that and it's easy, so they're going to go and do it. So if you're walking down the road with a phone out, it's quite on show, and they're not cheap anymore. You know, a good iPhone or some of these good brands, they're £500–600 upwards, you know, and iPads and whatever. So you've got to be a little bit sensible and think, would you stand there waving around £600? No, you wouldn't, you'd hide that, but you're happy to do that with your phone. And I know they're insured, so that brings me to my second point. If you thought someone was going to rob you, and it wasn't a snatch attack, that snatch attack is avoidable, that's what I'm saying. So be careful where you hold things. But if someone actually robs you for what you've got to think two things. Is this item worth me getting hurt for? And normally it isn't. So in most cases, I would always say, and I've been doing this a long time, I'd say give them the item if you think you're going to get away, you know? Especially if that can buy your freedom and you can go and get another phone or watch or whatever it is they've taken. But if it's a snatch thing, that's more about just being a bit sensible where you do things. Then we go on to the third thing. If you are going to say to someone, no, I'm not giving it to you, are you ready for what could come? Because every action causes a reaction. So obviously I teach self-defense, and a lot of people say, oh, you know, your guys, they all train, they can take care of themselves. But some people are, you know, they're willing to go the extra mile to get something off of you. So you've got to make sure, is it worth what you're doing? If I'm at home and, you know, I've got a family, or if I've got kids, and they're worth me dying for. If I'm out and I've got a phone, no, it's not worth dying for. So again, I always leave these videos in not a happy place, but don't be getting down about it. It's just being sensible about what you do and when you do it. And don't tie into the media, oh my God, these guys on mopeds and it's the end of the world. There's always going to be things where people are going to take stuff because it's easy. Not everyone wants to do it the hard way. Like a lot of us, we're working hard to get what we want. People are going to take the easy route sometimes. and that is what it is. So don't tie into that. If you've got any videos you want me to comment on, Ricky MMA Krav Maga, please subscribe, comment and share, that'd be great. If you've got something that's happened to you or someone you know, you can just write to me, and privately I can message you if that's what you need, or we can do a Q&A and we'll put it all out there. I think that's it. Stay safe. See you soon.